back. Well, divorce is tough on everyone involved, but our next guest says when talking about it with your children, the way you bring it up could be one of the most important moments and yet so challenging at the same time. Latrice Knighton, an attorney at Sterling Law Offices, joins us with some good advice on having this conversation that can also apply to other traumatic events going on right now. Good morning to you, Latrice.
Good morning, Tiffany.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Divorce is tough on everybody. There's just no way around it that it's going to be a difficult process. But I can imagine the way that you bring it up with your kids is probably one of the most important conversations you can have, and equally challenging for a parent because it's so sensitive. Would you agree?
Absolutely, Tiffany. It is the most challenging conversation to have as a parent because you really want to get it right. I would tell parents that most kids are going to remember how you tell them, where they were when you told them exactly what you said, and how you responded to their response to you telling them the news. So I always tell parents it's really important to plan, and plan about exactly how this is going to happen for you and your family to let the kids know. You should plan on where you're going to tell them, plan on what information you're going to give them, and then plan to be there to support and help kids as they try to navigate this divorce with you. I tell this to parents when I represent them as clients, and also I really reinforce this to parents in my role as a guardian ad litem.
What do you do about another parent? Like, what if there's a parent involved that you feel is causing problems or is not saying the right thing to the kids, and you almost get put on the defense?
You know, Tiffany, this is a very common problem and to be expected in almost every divorce. You know, two parents are going to always see a situation and handle it differently. As parents, you handled certain situations in your marriage with the kids even differently. So say, for instance, you know, there's some minor things that your spouse did while you're married with the kids that wasn't the way that you would have typically done them or got on your nerves a little bit. That same thing's going to happen in the future with that parent because they just view the world differently and just react differently to things. What I tell parents is to be most concerned about safety issues. And then you need to have a very quick conversation, not in front of the kids, on your safety concerns, what you would expect the parent to do, or maybe some different suggestions on how to deal with it. And hopefully that conversation outside the presence of the kids can lead to that behavior to change.
You know, I think it's something that you guys do so well at Sterling Law Offices is that you really embrace that relationship with your clients and truly help and give empathy in a lot of situations like this. I'm sure that the age of the kids is taken into very big consideration when you're considering what sort of ways to address the conversation meaningfully. But what are the signs that you can look for that your child or your teenager is under stress?
Yes, you know, we care a lot about what ends up happening to the kids through divorce. And so we talk with parents about very common behaviors to look out for. In younger kids, you'll start seeing sometimes when they're really struggling with the change, they'll regress in behavior. So they'll start wetting the bed or need to go back to diapers. They'll become more clingy with the parent during transitions. Older kids sometimes start acting out. So they will become more moody or disruptive in class or be a little bit more misbehaving in public events where they normally didn't. Teenagers sometimes will go completely opposite and, you know, start missing class, start being more depressed. So you should really watch out for those large signs that shows that your kid is struggling with the transition.
You know, in addition to divorce, it's a traumatic time, I think, for a lot of kids and teens. And you've got these tips that you recommend for parents to help keep their children, to help them through these difficult times. And I think what's so great is they're simple and
Mm-hmm.
easy to do, yet very powerful. So would you mind going through those tips that you give to parents?
Yeah, absolutely. There are 5 things that I suggest to parents trying to help their kids through any transition or traumatic event, including what's now going on in the world. So the first tip I give is, number 1, establish routines with your kids. So that's typically routines during transition. So when one parent is dropping off the kids to the other parent, Bring your child inside, start dinner right away if that's what you want to always do, or start a meal right away, or just help your kid unpack so they can get settled back in your home. The second tip that I would suggest is that, cut out any negative voices or negative media that is playing in the background, because kids are also very sensitive to all what's going on around them. So hearing parents who have friends or family who are talking negatively about the other parent can be really hard on the kids. And also them just dealing with the hard news right now with some of the challenges that America is facing is hard. So try to minimize that exposure. The third tip I would have is to engage with your child. Pick up activities and do things that your kids are really interested in right now, and just be there, participate fully, because more than likely those times are the times when your kids are going to open up. Fourth, you want to make certain that you are getting outside and doing activities together. Release some endorphins by running or doing some sort of exercise, get on your bikes, get out there so that both you're feeling good, physically. And then lastly, make certain that you're taking care of your body with good nutrition, drinking plenty of water, because when you feel good on the inside, it just also radiates to the outside.
It absolutely does. It sounds so simple, but it means so much because it truly does make a difference. So thanks for joining us, Latrice. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And the attorneys at Sterling Law Offices are a proud sponsor of our We're Open campaign. So we want to make sure that here's the website you can have a conversation. And these obviously apply to other different areas of kids' lives, whether it's divorce or traumatic events with the pandemic as well. Sterlinglawyers.com is the website for more.